Hey everyone, welcome. Today I'm going to talk about a client success story. My client Nate. Nate is a 40-year-old father, has a son, whole family, and just in a year he has transformed the way he looks, but ultimately the way that he feels. He operates on a whole new level of confidence, cognition, and just ability to enjoy his quality of life. He has dramatically built muscle mass and shredded body fat. The numbers here show it. So today I'm going to be interviewing him just to kind of how the process is. If you are weary on the fence, or if you just want to know more information about the Complete Vitality program. So Nate, thank you for taking the time today to be able to meet with me and actually speak with me about the process.
Absolutely, Diego.
And so the first question kind of is, where were you before you started with me? Just start from there.
Sure. So I started working out in the gym and changed my diet a little bit before I met Diego. I wasn't happy with the way I looked or how I felt. But as I've found out many that don't have a coach to help, I hit a wall. I hit a plateau. I was spending hours in the gym, kind of aimlessly wandering around, not knowing what exercises I should be doing. At home, I wasn't sure what I should be eating or how many steps I should be getting. So I reached out to Diego for a little bit of help to help me move that needle.
Yeah, Nate, because I remember I would see you in the gym when I was with my other clients, and you were there for what, 2 to 3 hours,
Yeah, so I was averaging probably like 2.5 hours in the gym.
Yeah, and like I remember the first day we met, we were talking, you were kind of speaking about, I mean, I just spend all my time in here. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to exercise properly. I don't want to get hurt. You remember that?
Yeah, for sure. As a matter of fact, it wasn't but a couple weeks before I met Diego that I had hurt my lower back in the gym, and that had really slowed me down. I was getting pretty frustrated. I just wasn't seeing what I was expecting to see or what I felt I should be seeing in the progress.
hmm And so, Nate, when you started with me, I mean, what are some of the changes you saw like right away? We're talking like first few weeks.
Well, I was spending a lot less time in the gym, uh, even though I wasn't sure that that was really the right thing to do. But I put my trust in Diego, and by targeting the exercise and spending the less time in the gym, I had a lot more stamina and I had a lot more excitement about going into the gym because now I felt like I had a purpose. I knew what I was supposed to be doing in the gym.
hmm
So the stamina in the gym definitely improved, and then outside of the gym, the results started showing up pretty quickly after that. I'd say about 2 to 3 weeks after that, I was able to physically see the changes.
Yeah, and let's not mention, I mean, before you were having those like acid reflux symptoms a little bit, you were having some like gut issues a little bit. So what were those like after you started the plan and everything?
Well, when we got the diet kind of dialed in, the stomach definitely felt better. One of the biggest changes was the bloating. The bloating went away. And that was always something that I struggled with. When you're trying to make yourself look better and feel better, but yet every day you feel bloated, you really don't feel the progress that you've made. You feel, I'll just put it this way, fat, right? And when we got the bloating feeling down, I physically felt better, which then I outwardly showed in confidence.
hmm For sure, for sure. And more so when we're talking about, not dealing with the gut issues anymore, getting the right plan executed, less time in the gym too. I mean, when we really look at it though, like how much of your time is actually spent, actually improving your health. Like, because
I would
I
say,
think a big misconception is that many individuals believe that starting this whole health and fitness thing is going to take up so much time and everything, but it seemed like it was the opposite for you.
it was the opposite for me when I got your help. Like I said, I was spending 2.5 hours in the gym every day. And then when I have a plan in front of me, I know what I'm going to go wake up to do. I know I'm going to wake up and I'm going to go execute these exercises. With the diet nutrition plan, I know I'm going to eat these things. So I spend less time wandering around the grocery store, looking at the back of food labels. Should I be eating this? Should I not be? And then to compound that, all social media is filled with is influencers telling me, do this, do that, do this, do that. Everybody's speaking in circles, so you just don't know. But when you have a coach that has everything dialed in, and here's something on a piece of paper, do this, do that, do this. You have a roadmap to success built for you. You don't have to spend much time thinking about it. You just get up and go do those things.
Yeah, and just so individuals have a number, what was the number that body fat that you've lost? Because a lot of people get stuck on. Well, let's first talk about that. His total body weight, it kind of stayed the same a little bit.
Yeah.
But when we look at like the body, in-body scans, meaning our body fat, or like how much body fat we have, and then how much muscle mass we have, how much body fat legitimate body fat in our body did you lose throughout our process together?
So yeah, let me kind of go over that from the top, because that's something I'm kind of passionate about. You know, especially when I hear women complain about their body weight. I started my journey before I met Diego at 227 pounds. I weighed 227 pounds. My body fat percentage was 34.8%, and my muscle mass was at 83 pounds. Diego kind of broke that stigma about, do you really care how much you weigh, or do you care about how you look? And when he dived down in more to explaining that, I realized that it didn't matter how many pounds I weighed. It did matter what I looked like. And by managing my body fat and my muscle mass, those were the keys. So like I said, we started at 227 pounds of weight, 34.8% body fat, and 83 pounds of muscle. Since then, my weight has fluctuated. It's gone up, it's gone down, it's gone up, it's gone down. But what has been consistently changed is my body fat has gone down. I'm down now to hovering around 11% body fat, and my muscle mass is at 100 pounds. Here, I don't know, the last time we sat down and reevaluated things a few months ago, I was at 183 pounds. So I felt fairly successful. I'm now at 200 pounds. If you looked at just the weight, you'd think that I've slipped in my progress. I've made exponential gains. Since I went from the 182 to the 200 pounds, I have cut still body fat, but I've put on about 7 more pounds of muscle mass.
Because muscle weighs more than fat. So when you gain more muscle on the scale, it look like you gain more weight, but you actually gain more muscle, which muscle means more metabolism, meaning more calories you can enjoy, and still be forgiven. Meaning you don't have to worry about those calories because your muscle's burning it for you.
Yes, Diego mentioned with that. That's kind of one of the interesting things is when we reevaluated, I was starting to lose a little bit of energy, and he says, well, we need to eat more. And he says, you've put on so much more muscle, your metabolism's operating, you're burning body fat at rest, doing nothing now, even more, since you put on this muscle. So we need to feed the body. And it sounds counterintuitive, right? You're trying to get this physique that you want, but by feeding me more, we increase the muscle mass significantly while not putting any body fat on.
For sure, for sure. So Nate, throughout this whole process, what would you say is your favorite part so far? Like, what's been your favorite part? Because we've done a lot with your nutrition, the training, some of the gut health stuff, and then you've been through a little bit of adversity too with some of the back injuries you've had, some of the other injuries that you've been dealing with, but you still continue to push through. What's been your favorite part throughout this process?
I'd say that my favorite part, obviously besides the confidence and the physique change, my favorite part with working with Diego is the nutrition. I am not a picky eater. I love to eat everything. And Diego has, I think when we started, he wrote a very detailed program out. Eat this, eat that. But he doesn't just leave it at that. He works on education, progress and education.
Yeah.
So now I feel like I have the freedom to eat and make those choices, and I know what I can and can't eat, which means I'm not limited. Folks think that they're going to go onto this 6-week diet and they're going to make all this progress, which means they have to cut out eating the things that they don't enjoy. That's not true at all. We've just adapted those things. I enjoy pizza. One of my favorite things to do with my son is we make pizza at home. That's something I think most people can enjoy on a Friday night. They want to do pizza and a movie with their family.
Yeah, and it hits his goals,
Yeah, it hits all my goals. We dial that in and we target that. And what I use the pizza is not as a cheat meal. I use it to enhance my macros. And I don't want to go too often into the weeds there, but if I can, we use the food, the ingredients to enhance my macros for my body to use as fuel and energy.
Exactly. I think the whole point of it is sustainability. A quote that I go by as a coach is, I don't judge my client's success with me. I judge them months after me, because that means that they've tremendously made a lifestyle change for them to continue making progress throughout their life. I'm just here in the beginning as pretty much some guidance and everything to set you off into the right path. And that's been tremendous with you, Nate. So another thing would be, what would you say to anyone that's kind of on the fence with working with me, essentially? If someone, because it sounded like in the beginning, you had to get some convincing from an outside source to work with me just for trust. Trust
is huge. Trust is huge.
And so what would you say who's someone who's on the fence?
I would say if you've been going at it alone and you've seen little to no progress or some progress, working with Diego is just an easy mode. There's really no shortcut to success, but having a coach like Diego is a shortcut to success because he's been through it. He knows what works. He knows what doesn't work. You can spend more of your time doing the things that you enjoy by having a coach dial in what you should be eating, the exercises that you should be doing, any supplements that you should be taking. It's just an easy mode. It's an easy button to continue progress, and it just sets you up for success in the future.
Exactly, exactly. Well, Nate, I want to thank you for taking the time today to be able to meet with me, answer these questions, and educate the viewer, the watcher, on what it's like work with me, but what's the process been like with you, you know? So I really appreciate you doing that, and yeah, let's continue to keep doing it.
My pleasure. Thank you, Diego.
Thank you.